It started out as an ordinary teacher workday. Mr. Shepherd was going to make copies when he suddenly was jolted by a strange burst of energy. When he didn't return to his room, Mrs. Noyes went to check on him, and she too was overtaken by the power. They found themselves traveling through a time warp and meeting famous people from Georgia's past. This is the story of time travel with Noyes and Shepherd.
So, Nancy Hart. You know, back in the days of the American Revolution, women were really not supposed to be outspoken. They were supposed to be very ladylike and very proper. And Nancy Hart was none of those. The Indians called her War Woman, and well, there's a lot of things said about her. We're really not sure because of the times of long ago. We didn't really have cameras and pictures like we have now, but they say she had fiery red hair, and they say that she kind of had crossed eyes. She probably didn't really have crossed eyes, but she may have had like an eye that kind of lingers off or something. I don't know. I know she has a county named after her. As a matter of fact, it's the only county in Georgia that's named after a woman, which means Nancy Hart was pretty dang tough. I just can't imagine what it was like to be Nancy Hart.
Well, I know I ain't no prize to look at, but that's okay. My name's Nancy Hart. A lot of people call me Aunt Nancy, but the Indians like to call me War Woman, and there's a reason why. I mean when I have to be. As a matter of fact, it wasn't too long ago that a bunch of Tories got what was coming to them. One of the Whigs had to come by and he needed a little help. I gave him some help because I'm a patriot and I believe in this country coming to be, especially down here in this lovely place they call Georgia. Well, my husband was gone, and here comes a bunch of Tories. I'd say about 5 or 6 of them, and they demanded information. Well, I wasn't about to betray my Whig party, and you know what happened next? He then shot my prize gobbler. Boy, that made me so mad. Then he demanded I cook it up for him. Well, I tell you what, Aunt Nancy ain't no dummy. I might not be pretty, but I sure am smart. So I said, sure enough, come on into my cabin. And I cooked up that turkey, and I got out my wine, and I started feeding them, and they started trusting me, and I started talking and laughing and serving, and they started eating and drinking, and pretty soon they became pretty intoxicated. I knew that's when I'd make my move. I grabbed up the guns, and I started passing them off. But soon one of the Tories quickly figured out what I was doing. But I was a quick draw. I grabbed up one of them guns and I said, don't you make a move. He thought a woman didn't have it in her. Guess what? She did. He lunged toward me and bam! I shot him dead. Then I hollered over to my daughter, go on down, get your daddy, get him in here, we got some Tories. Another one thought he'd make his move. So he jumped up. Bam! I shot him on dead. Ben came coming in with my little daughter, and I had them all held there. He said, shoot them all, Nancy. I said, no, shooting's too good. We gonna hang them and let them find their bodies years later. That's right, that's what we did. I'm Nancy Hart, and I'm a patriot. And I'm proud to be living here in Georgia.